A short duration discussion on the plight of the education sector in Meghalaya dominated the proceedings of the House on the third day of the autumn session of the State Assembly here on Tuesday, witnessing the participation of many members, followed by a blunt and lengthy reply from the Education Minister Lahkmen Rymbui. The short duration discussion, moved by Umroi MLA George B. Lingdo, revolved around the problems faced by the teachers who were forced to come out to the streets demanding a salary hike and release of payment, the poor infrastructure of the schools in the rural areas, the quality of education in the state, and other factors. Pointing out that education is one of the pillars of a developed society, members of the House referred to the low mark ranking for Meghalaya in the education sector and said that the system needs to be revamped, making it more vibrant to ensure that students do not end up being unemployed after they complete their education. Emphasis was laid on the plight of the teaching community, with members referring to the recent protests and agitation by the teachers belonging to different categories like deficit, ad hoc, SSA and contractual.
The quality of our education has been ranked the lowest in the past few months by several agencies that are monitoring the progress of education sector across the country. Therefore, sir, we need this discussion to understand as to what plagues our education system.
Please get the money first, then assure. If you do not have money in your hand, do not give any promises. This is what I want to say, because we don't want SSA teachers to come and sleep on the road again anymore.
I do not know, sir, what are the problems for the government, but I would urge upon the government that the MTET pass candidates may kindly be appointed as soon as possible, as many of the schools, even under my constituency, are not having sufficient and enough teachers.
Sir, the main issue here is our state, we must go for the quality of our education, sir.
Why is it always the case that government is saying it has no money to pay the school teachers? Is it really true that there is no money? And may we further know, where is all that huge amount of money being collected in the name of cess?
Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, it is an alarming situation as far as the problems of this education sector is concerned. If you look at the result of the passing percentage of the result of SSLC and HSSLC, it is very pathetic, very pathetic. Below 30% of the students are being able to pass out. That means more than 70% of our children are not passing through the exam. What will be their future?
In his reply, Education Minister Lahkmen Rymbui said the government is looking to improve the education sector in 3 parameters, those being train and the surety of teachers, curriculum and infrastructure, and continuous monitoring.
This is the only government on the first day itself that we identify to improve the education system in the state. We have to have 3 parameters, to look at 3 parameters. Number 1, train teachers, surety of the teachers in their own job. Number 2, curriculum and infrastructure. And number 3, continuous monitoring. Sir, we are looking at all these parameters.
Replying to the low pass percentage in the SSLC and HSSLC, the minister said it has been noticed that compared to the Khasi Hills region, the pass percentage in the Garo Hills region is pathetic, registering only 30 to 35%, below 40%. He informed that the department had formed a committee to study the lack of performance in Garo Hills, for which the report along with recommendations have been submitted, and that the government is trying to implement those recommendations despite the challenges of COVID-19 pandemic.
When you see result of Garo Hills, if you see the result of Khasi region, most of the time, the percentage is very high. But when we talk about Garo Hills region, percentage is only 35% below 40%. After 2 years, we try to look at it, and suddenly, we form the committee to study at those aspects headed by the former Education Secretary. And the report has been submitted, and data is available with us. And recommendation, we are trying to implement those recommendations in spite of having the hardship and the challenges of COVID pandemic.
Reacting to the questions raised on the plight of the teachers, Rymbui said the quality of education is linked to teachers, and to achieve a good standard of education, the state requires trained teachers, which prompted this government to take a decision on mandatory teachers' tests, the same of which was reaffirmed by the High Court.
Yes, some teachers could not continue their study, their teaching. But we forget to the fact, honorable member, forget to the fact that more than 1,300 teachers, regular teachers, got job. We should not look at one side of the story. It is very easy for us to be dramatized, cry the crocodile tears. But we forget to the fact that what happened at some point of time, we have to take a decision. And we took. I'm very happy that Honorable Good also reaffirmed the decision taken by the government.
He further added that the government has budgeted the Education Department rupees 2,570 plus crore, but the amount turns out to be short, as the department has to spend rupees 2,177 crore only on school teachers' salaries, excluding the SSA teachers. He went on to say that if members are so concerned about education, they should bring a resolution in the House to keep the budget on education at rupees 5,000 crore.
Honourable member from Shillong North talk about, plight of job, where is the money gone? Where is this money? Vanish. Arey yaar, let me tell something. Government have budgeted us 2,570 crore plus to spend. But sir, because we try to address the problem of the teachers, we try to address the problem of quality education, I asked more than 198 crore more. But sir, they told, it will come, it may not come. Reduce it. And on one thing they told that, spend more. But when I asked 98 crore, reduce it. What is this? Let us live to our words. And instead of bring a resolution in the House that keep the budget of education 5,000 crore. That I said that the real member who talk from their heart, not only from their lips.
On infrastructure, Rymbui said the government has constructed more than 250 additional buildings, and 208 secondary and higher secondary schools will be taken up for upgradation and construction in the first phase, and the government plans to include 110 schools in the second phase. Pointing out that education is a complex issue, Rymbui assured the members that the government will try to solve the problems raised on the floor of the House, adding that it is a work in progress which cannot be achieved overnight.
The department have taken note of the issue raised by the honourable member, because as I said, education is a very complex. In the word of Chief Minister, education is very challenging. But I'm very happy the MDA government have taken the challenge to solve the problem of the people. We cannot do it overnight, but it is a work in progress. and we will do it. We will do it. We have the mandate to do it. We will do it, sir.